All right, let's go to the conference call. Don't ever interrupt me again.
First time in a couple of years, takes on DeMarcus Johnson. We've got two top lightweights colliding when Joe Lauzon takes on former WEC champ Jamie Varner. And the co-main, we've got Lyoto the Dragon Machida, a former world champion, taking on former NCAA Division I wrestler and tough winner Ryan Bader. And then in the 5-round main event, we've got one of the best of all time on free TV as Shogun Hua throws down with a very confident Brandon Vera. All 4 light heavyweights are on the call right now. Shogun's going to be translated by Julio Heller, and when needed, Lyoto will be translated by Derek Lee. Now I'd like to turn the call over to UFC President Dana White.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for taking the time to call in today. Let's get the show started. Who's got the first question?
If you'd like to ask a question, please signal by pressing the star key, followed by the digit 1 on your telephone keypad. If you're using a speakerphone, please make sure your mute function is turned off to allow your signal to reach our equipment. Once again, please press star 1 to ask a question. We'll pause a moment to allow everyone an opportunity to signal. We'll take our first question from Ariel Helwani from MMAfighting.com.
Hey guys, thanks for doing the call today. I wanted to ask Dana a question. Can you clear something up for us, Dana? A lot of buzz last week when that article came out on FoxSports.com about what's at stake in this main event. Is it true that the winner will really get a shot at John Jones?
Yes.
That's it?
Yeah.
Even though John Jones has beaten both guys?
Yeah.
All right.
Shogun Hua just came off the fight of the year last year, and you know he's probably one of the greatest fighters in the last decade. Think about it. If you think about the list of guys, this guy knocked out Rampage, knocked out Chuck Liddell, knocked out Mark Coleman, knocked out Lyoto Machida, knocked out Forrest Griffin, knocked out Alistair Overeem twice, submitted Kevin Randleman. You know, a win puts this guy right back in position, and he's probably, you know, the number 2 guy in the world.
And then I'll ask Brandon Vera the follow-up. Brandon, you obviously had that tough loss to Jones on Versus a couple of years ago, but you've always talked about wanting to get a second shot at him and just not feeling like yourself and not liking your performance in that fight. Does that almost put more pressure on you knowing that this is a possibility, or does that even make you want to perform even better on Saturday night?
You know, Ariel, this is, like I said before, this is already a blessing in disguise. And by Dana throwing that out there, man, this is almost like winning the lottery twice.
Okay, and I just wanted to ask Shogun Hua a question, and then I'll get off the line. For Shogun, obviously you're coming off a very great fight against Dan Henderson. We haven't seen you for a long time. For those that haven't talked to you, can you just explain what happened last month with the Glover Teixeira fight and why you didn't want to take that fight and why you like this fight against Brandon Vera more?
O que você falou no último mês aí dessa luta do Brandon Vera. Por que você não quis lutar e sim com o Brandon Vera?
O Brandon Vera é um cara conhecido no UFC, no mundo, e o Glover não. Então, eu e minha equipe, nós temos interesse pelo Glover no momento, com tudo respeito a ele, mas ele não é um cara hoje conhecido no UFC. E o Brandon Vera é um cara que todo mundo conhece ele.
Brandon Vera is a guy that's very well known in the MMA business, especially the UFC. Has a strong name in the business, and Glover has still a long road ahead to run. So right now, the best option is a guy that's well ranked and more known is Brandon Vera, the choice.
Thanks, guys. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll take our next question from Adam Martin with The Score.
Hey, Dana, how are you? You got Mike Swick coming back. He hasn't fought in about over 2 years now. What are you expecting from Mike, and are you excited to see him back in the cage?
I am. I like Mike Swick personally and as a fighter. And, you know, the guy's, he's a great fighter. He's 14-4, one of the originals from The Ultimate Fighter. And, you know, we've started to joke around and call him Mr. Glass. around the office. I mean, the guy's had a real tough stint with injuries before we even started getting plagued with injuries. Schwick was getting injured all the time, but it's good to see him back. I love the kid, and I'm pumped.
As far as the title shot goes, if the winner of Shogun and Vera doesn't look that impressive in victory, yet the winner of Machida versus Bader looks very impressive, could they possibly jump ahead in the queue and get the next title shot?
Well, no, I already announced that the winner of Vera and Hua get the shot. You know what I mean? Of course, I hope that all the fights are exciting that night, but you're dead on when you say, when we do look at guys who we would like to see get a shot at the title, we like impressive finishes. We like guys that finish. But if you look at Shogun's last fight, his last fight with Dan Henderson was one of the sickest fights I've ever seen in my life.
Speaking of guys who'd like to finish, you got a great lightweight fight, or second on the card. You got Jamie Varner against Joe Lozon. What are you expecting from those two guys, and is that another fight you're really excited for?
Yeah, Varner came out and looked amazing in his last fight, upsetting Barboza. I don't think anybody saw that one coming. And Joe Lozon is always exciting. He came out and did the same thing to Melvin Gillard. This should be a fun fight.
Just one more question for Brandon Vera. Brandon, there's a lot of critics on the internet saying that you don't deserve this main event slot, that you don't deserve a title shot. How do you respond to these critics?
Make sure to watch me on August 4th.
Okay, thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, and you know what, brother? It's all about opportunities. Brandon is a guy who burst onto the scene. Was gonna be a 205-pound champion, a heavyweight champion. Was running through guys left and right, and then. I don't know what happened, but it's about opportunities. He accepted this opportunity to fight one of the greatest fighters of this decade, and we'll see what he does with it.
Thanks, Dana. Have a good one.
Yep.
We'll take our next question from Heidi Fang with MMA Fighting.
Hi, my first question is for Dana. The road to the octagon that we saw last night, is that something that we're going to be able to see for every Fox card?
Yeah, something that we put together with Eric Shanks from Fox, and yeah, we love it. We're going to be doing more of that. We got a lot of good things coming with this Fox relationship over the next 6 months. The first 6 to 7 months has been a feeling out period and figuring out how to really work together and how to get things clicking with UFC and Fox. And we've come up with a lot of great ideas that we're going to be implementing throughout the rest of this year.
And also, this is a kind of a unique way to determine the number one contender. Is this a process that you're going to be using for more fights in the future?
For Fox, yeah. Guys who fight on Fox are guys who are, who are in line for world title shots and the top ranked guys. I mean, you got Shogun, you got Vera. I mean, 20-6, 12-5. Leota Machida 17-3. Bader 15-2. I mean, these are the top four. Light heavyweights in the world. That's what you're going to see on Fox.
Okay, my next question is for Ryan Bader. What do you think is the toughest thing about figuring out Machida? Is it his unpredictability, or is it his precise countering and striking?
Yeah, he's brings a lot of problems to the table that you don't see usually in a lot of fights. So you're not used to seeing that in the gym. So you got to seek out training partners that have a little bit of that. And you have to see it in the gym. And if you don't, you're going to be surprised there in the octagon. So that's the biggest thing, in the training camp is finding those guys. But, I think he does a great job as far as, being elusive and then striking, when he needs to and when the opponent is not expecting it. So the biggest puzzle is really seeing it in the gym.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll take our next question from Joanna Shore with Fight Films TV Fox Sports Net.
Hi there. Just a question for Brandon Vera. What is your mindset going into this fight against Shogun, and how has your training been leading up to this fight?
My mindset preparing for Shogun has been amazing. It's been, like Dana said earlier, it's the opportunity of a lifetime. You only get this call once, man. You only get this call once, and it's been a godsend. Training's been great. My team's been great. Everybody here at Alliance has been awesome. Coaches and training partners from all across the globe have been flying in to come help me train for Shogun. I was already getting in shape for Kahuna for the San Jose card, so I got a jump start on camp before I found out I was going to be fighting Shogun, and it's just been good. It's been amazing.
Hey, just a follow-up question. Dana, is there any pressure?
That could have been an interesting question, but New York Rick got trigger happy there. So there you have it. And by the way, can you hang up on them so no one hears me talking, just in case? I'm going to wait a second.
The line is clear.
Okay. Whew. Well, how about that? Not only do we tune into the conference call, we get in first. We ask the question, and Dana confirms that the winner of Shogun versus Vera is going to fight for the title. Now, what do you think of that? Now, I did mess up. For and I must apologize to Dan Henderson. I did say that the winner will fight John Jones. I apologize. Obviously, the winner will fight the winner of John Jones versus Dan Henderson, which takes place UFC 151 on September 1st. But that was pretty cool, right, New York Rick?
Historic. Look
at that. I got the sense that Dana didn't like the question. What do you think?
He seemed a little testy just in general.
Yeah, well, he just gave me a one-word answer, but then we fought through it, threw a question in there to Vera, threw a question in there to Shogun. I mean, all in all, it was a fun time.
I thought it was great.
And good job by Brendan there with the graphics and the video. Very exciting times in the MMA Hour.